Have you ever wondered how we ended up with so many languages in the world? An intriguing tale from the Bible's book of Genesis offers an explanation. Nestled within Genesis chapter 11, we find the story of the Tower of Babel, an account that is as fascinating as it is enlightening. The tale begins with the people of the ancient world sharing a single language. United in their speech and purpose, they decide to build a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens. Their ambition is grand, their intent clear, to make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered across the face of the earth. But the story takes an unexpected turn. God, observing their actions, decides to intervene. He sees their unified effort not as a symbol of unity, but as a manifestation of human pride. The people, in their desire to reach the heavens, were attempting to assert their own greatness, to place themselves on a level with God. And so in response to this act of hubris, God confounds their language, causing them to speak different tongues. The result? Confusion, disunity, and the cessation of their grand project. The people, unable to understand each other, scatter across the earth, just as they had hoped to avoid. This story provides a rich tapestry of themes and lessons. It speaks of human ambition and pride, of divine intervention and the power of God. It is a cautionary tale that warns against overreaching, against placing our own desires above the will of the divine. But at the same time, it's a story of unity, albeit a unity that was disrupted. Indeed, the Tower of Babel stands as a poignant symbol. Is it a symbol of unity, of humanity's shared ambition and cooperation? Or is it a symbol of disunity and confusion, a testament to the consequences of unchecked pride and ambition? So, the tale of the Tower of Babel gives us a biblical explanation for the origin of different languages, but what happens next? What would you do if you were asked to leave everything behind and start anew in a foreign land? This question isn't just a hypothetical for Abram in Genesis chapter 12, it's his reality, his calling. Abram, living comfortably in his homeland of Ur, is suddenly confronted with an unexpected command from God. God tells Abram to leave his country, his people, his father's household, and journey to an unknown land that God will show him. There's no roadmap, no travel itinerary, just a promise from God that he will be made into a great nation and be blessed abundantly. Imagine the shock, the uncertainty, the fear that might have gripped Abram. It's one thing to believe in God when life is comfortable and predictable. It's quite another to pack up your life, say goodbye to everything familiar and step into the unknown, simply because God said so. But Abram does just that. He takes a leap of faith. He trusts in God's promise and sets off on his journey to Canaan, accompanied by his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot. His obedience to God's command is nothing short of remarkable. Now, you might be wondering, why is this significant? Why does Abram's leap of faith matter? Well, it's because his faith sets the foundation for the rest of his story. It's the beginning of a covenant relationship with God that will not only transform Abram's life, but also the course of history. His faith in God's promise paves the way for the birth of a nation, the nation of Israel, through which all the families of the earth will be blessed. Abram's faith is a testament to the power of belief, of trusting in the promises of God even when circumstances suggest otherwise. It's a reminder that faith often requires us to step out of our comfort zones and embrace the unknown, trusting that God will guide us every step of the way. Abram's leap of faith takes him to new lands, but also new challenges. And yet his faith remains unshaken, a beacon of hope in the face of uncertainty. A reminder to us all of the power of unwavering faith. Imagine being promised descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. In the heart of Genesis chapters 15 and 17, we encounter a remarkable covenant, a promise between God and a man named Abram. This is no ordinary promise. It's a pledge of descendants so numerous they'd rival the stars in the sky or the grains of sand on the seashore. Abram, a man of great faith, is promised not just a son, but an entire lineage that would eventually form the 12 tribes of Israel. This promise, this covenant, is a pivotal moment in the biblical narrative. It is the spark that sets the stage for the rest of the story, for Abram's descendants would go on to shape the course of history. But this covenant carries with it a profound transformation. The man who entered this promise is not the same man who comes out on the other side. In recognition of the magnitude of his destiny, God bestows upon Abram a new name, Abraham, meaning father of many nations. This name change is more than a simple renaming. It's a tangible symbol of the transformation that's taken place within him, a transformation that prepares him for the role he is to play in God's grand design. Just as a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, so too does Abram become Abraham. His name change signifies a metamorphosis, an evolution from being an individual to becoming the patriarch of a multitude. It's a change that speaks volumes about the power of faith and the divine promise. As we delve deeper into these chapters of Genesis, we see that this covenant is not just about a promise of descendants, it's also about a shift in identity, a stepping into a larger calling. It's about a man accepting his role in a divine plan, a plan that would shape the course of history. From Abram to Abraham, a change in name signifies a change in destiny. But what about his wife, Sarai? What if you were told you'd have a child in your old age? Imagine the shock, the surprise, the disbelief. That's precisely the reaction Sarah, wife of Abraham, had when she overheard the prophecy of her forthcoming motherhood in Genesis chapter 18. Sarah was well beyond childbearing years. The idea of becoming a mother at her age was to her a laughable matter, and laugh she did. But her laughter was not one of joyous anticipation, rather it was a laughter born out of disbelief, skepticism, perhaps even a hint of bitterness. After all, she had spent her entire life yearning for a child, praying for a miracle that never seemed to come. Yet the divine announcement was not a joke, nor a mistake. It was a promise from God himself, a promise that in her old age, Sarah would bear a son. This son would not just be any child, he was to be the fulfillment of a prophecy, the continuation of a lineage, and the embodiment of a promise made by God to Abraham. His name would be Isaac, meaning he will laugh, a name serving both as a reminder of Sarah's initial disbelief and a testament to the joy that was to come. Fast forward to Genesis chapter 21. The impossible becomes reality. Against all the odds, against the biological constraints, against Sarah's own doubts, a baby boy is born, Isaac, just as prophesied. His birth was not merely the birth of a child, it was the birth of a promise fulfilled, a testament to God's unwavering truth. Isaac's birth rekindles hope, not just for Sarah and Abraham but for all who hear this story. It serves as a reminder that even when situations seem impossible, even when hope seems lost, there is always a way. Isaac's story is a testament to the idea that miracles do happen, that laughter can follow tears, and that promises, especially those made by God, do come to fruition. Against all odds, Sarah gives birth to Isaac, a moment of joy and a testament to God's promise. So what do these chapters in Genesis tell us about faith, promises, and divine intervention? The narrative from Genesis chapters 11 through 20 paints an intriguing picture of human ambition, divine intervention, and the journey of faith. It kicks off with the Tower of Babel, a symbol of human unity turned disunity. Here we see the people's attempt at reaching the heavens, thwarted by God, who confuses their language, creating a diversity of tongues and scattering humanity across the earth. This story serves as a vivid reminder of the limitations of human power and the supremacy of divine will. Then we traverse the journey of Abram, later known as Abraham, a man called from his homeland to venture into the unknown. His leap of faith sets a precedent for all believers, demonstrating the essence of trusting in God's guidance, even when the path seems uncertain. His journey wasn't devoid of trials and tribulations, but his faith remained unshaken, a testament to his unwavering trust in God. Next, we come across the covenant between God and Abraham, a divine promise of descendants as numerous as the stars. This promise, despite Abraham and Sarah's advanced age, is a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of God's word. It underlines the theme that with God, even the seemingly impossible becomes possible. Finally, we witness the birth of Isaac, a joyous fulfillment of God's promise. His birth is a testament to divine intervention and the power of unwavering faith. It's a heartwarming conclusion to a journey filled with trials, tribulations, and triumphs, all under the watchful eyes of a promise-keeping God. In the end, the message of Genesis chapters 11 through 20 is one of faith and obedience, of divine promises and their fulfillment, and of the power of God's intervention in human affairs.